Yeah, so it's a little frustrating. But anyway, that leads me. The Carl Anthony Towns leads me right into my next segment, which is the top five most hated players in the NBA. It just made me think of this because it's like I can't. First of all, I can't stand Carl Anthony Towns, and then Carl Anthony Towns acts like a lunatic on the court, and then goes to the press conference and is like, "Next question." Uh, yeah, we got to win. We just got to win. And it's like it's really bad because by all indications he's actually a really good guy and like is relatively intelligent, but he gets on the basketball court and it's just before I get into my top five, these are some of my I'm gonna give you some honorable mentions. Honorable mentions. Now listen, I'm not gonna go Kevin Durant and LeBron James. I'm sorry. If you hate Kevin Durant and LeBron James, that's your own personal issue.
You can be annoyed. I mean, I'm annoyed with certain things about Kevin Durant, but I'm not like,
Right. But for the most part, those guys, they play basketball. They're not really causing problems. They don't have major,
Yeah.
it's a lot of created stuff. Like if your biggest problem with LeBron is, well, he gets involved too much with the front office and he does whatever. Like, come on.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go there. They're hated more because they're so good and they're so well known that it has a lot less to do with anything that they do. They would be hated no matter what they do. So,
Yeah.
all right. So honorable mentions. Number one, Trae Young, which I don't really have a problem with Trae. I like. I think he's a good player. I think that he's kind of been unveiled as a bit of a one-trick pony. He runs the pick and roll, and that's what he can do. And he's either taking the three if you go under, or if you try to, send two guys out, he can drive to the basket, hit the floater. That's about it. But
Yeah.
I don't find him like super annoying. Yeah, he talks a bunch of junk, and I understand why he's kind of a lightning rod player, why people don't like him if he's playing against your team. But I don't really have a problem with Trae Young. What about you?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't really. I mean, he's a young player. There's still time for the narrative to be fully written about him. So I guess you could sort of be critical of some things like in the playoffs this year, like the Heat just kind of shut him down. But
yeah, Russell Westbrook. I
I really don't like Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled with him. But he's kind of one of those guys. He's always been this way, and he's never changed. He basically thinks, he's awesome, and if he plays like he's supposed to, the team should win. And it's
The reason I don't like Russell Westbrook is because if you go on YouTube and you watch videos of games from the season where he won the MVP because he averaged a triple double, and you watch him literally hunting rebounds and assists.
Yeah.
Dribbling down the court, passing up, driving to the basket, and just waiting for somebody to get open so he passes them the ball. And if they didn't shoot, he would yell at them, or stealing rebounds from his teammates. Okay. And I'm supposed to go all nuts because he averaged a triple double.
Yeah, you can't.
That's just, and I think the funniest one is you can watch. There's one video where, because at that time Kevin Durant was on Golden State, so there's a video of Kevin Durant and Steph Curry on the bench laughing at Russell Westbrook because he's yelling at his teammates because they didn't take a shot because he passed them the ball. Because at that point Westbrook had already had his double-digit points in the game, so it's like, all right, I got to get my assists and my rebounds to get the triple double.
Yeah, he's you're not going to win with him. And now that he's gotten older, it's the same thing. He can't shoot. He continues to try to shoot. He has no, it's funny though. I would like it if some players had more of his mindset. Like I would like it better if Ben Simmons had Russell Westbrook's mindset, where she's like, no, I'm going. You know what I mean? Because it's just, so it's really.
Yeah, I mean, with Russell Westbrook, I guess it just reaches a point where you just kind of go, instead of being mad at him, you just go, dude, you just don't get it. Like, because he's saying like I think after the season this year, he's like, everywhere I go, I got to keep trying to prove myself. It's like, dude, just forget it. You just don't get it. I don't care anymore. Like,
There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing to say. Like, it's kind of done. This one, I think DeMarcus Cousins. You want to talk about a guy who just permanent stink face all the time? Like the guy is pissed. He must wake up pissed off. He literally, it's just, now I realize he's not a big a deal anymore, and he's kind of comes off the bench for Denver. I get it, but the dude could not be more annoyed to be out there. It's just it's just he's just pissed off, complains to the ref. Everything is a bad call.
And I kind of feel a little bad for him because he was about to really get paid, and then he got a severe injury, and now he's just bounced around the league. I mean, it's kind of one of the craziest things where it's like he literally lost out on millions and millions of dollars. And, granted, he's still playing in the NBA, so I can't feel too bad for him, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't. I'm not thrilled with DeMarcus. Just my God, like he's the last guy I want on my team. Just it's a problem. Like he just you notice he's never stayed on one team for very long. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Let's see. In the game today, Draymond Green. I didn't put him in my top 5, although he was close. But I don't really have that big a problem with him. I think.
Well, I'll put it this way. Everybody's an asshole unless they're your asshole.
Right.
So if he's on your team, that's great. But if you're playing against him, it's like, fuck this guy.
And honestly, he's a bit much. It's a bit insanity. But he, as far as team wise, like he does do stupid crap. Like he can't get, if he get more of these flagrant fouls, he's going to end up getting suspended for a playoff game. And, famously got suspended in the finals for acting ridiculous. So, and so it's, it's a bit of an issue. He can cause your team some problems. Now that being said, off the court, media, if you listen to Draymond's really good on his podcast, and I think he's got a real career in media. But, not, if you're playing against him, you're not in love with him. You're kind of annoyed this guy, every single call. It gets to be a bit much. All right, so number 5, my top 5, Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
And most people would probably have him higher, but I don't. I can only hate him so much because I think he's pretty much limited. He's pretty limited as a player, and now with his contract, he's really limited. So I just think, I can hate it. I hate his whole situation. I hate his whole attitude. If you,
it's like, dude, you're like, you're fortunate to be in the NBA, and you just seemingly couldn't give a shit less.
Right.
Like,
not interested in getting better. Doesn't really want to be a great player. Only will only play his way. That's it. And it's
kind of like Jay Cutler. It's just like when someone walks around, they just literally don't give a shit. I mean, like it just really like, dude, seriously, really? Like,
yeah, but at least Cutler will go out on the field and make mistakes and not really. Ben Simmons is too afraid to make any mistakes.
Yeah, Jay Cutler will make mistakes. He doesn't give a shit.
Right. Couldn't care less about you. Pretty much passive aggressive. Passive aggressive, always giving dirty looks to his teammates. Like, So Ben Simmons, like, dude, I've had it. I've had it with your whole thing. And the sad part is, because of the way the contract structure works in the NBA, Philadelphia basically had to give him the max deal to keep him. They basically didn't have much of a choice, which is kind of how the NBA works. So they got stuck. Now, granted, I think Philly did. I think Philly's going to regret not getting some different stuff in the trade other than James Harden. It brings us to number 4, James Harden. Literally just basically gave up on 2 different teams. And by the way, giving up on Houston, it's regrettable, but I get it. Giving up on Brooklyn? Like, you're playing with Kevin Durant, and you're like, I don't really want to be here. It's like, what? Like,
yeah,
you lost me on that. Like, really? It was that bad? Like, I don't get it. And then he goes to Philadelphia. Like, he obviously doesn't give a shit about staying in shape.
He's really going to be out of shape before game one of this series against Miami because it's in Miami.
Well, it depends on what the buffet is like at the strip club. It depends.
Yeah.
So yeah, he drives me nuts. But of these guys, he's probably the guy who I believe in playing. As far as a player at this point of his career, that I still kind of believe in. He can still do a lot of stuff to help you win. He's not.
So, by the way, this list is only current players because we should probably in the next episode do like a historical list because I got people in the NBA history. Like I used to fucking hate Manu Ginobili. Like actually, in fact, screw that. The whole Spurs team because they were the whiniest bunch of douchebags ever.
Yeah,
okay?
Tim Duncan face. He always right. They look like they've never gotten a call in their favor, but yeah, that's a good idea. We'll do that next time. But yeah, number 3, Patrick Beverley. You are not anywhere near good enough to act like you act, bro. Not even close. Like you are a role player at best, and you act as if you're the most important guy on the team. Enough. Enough with the act. You beat the Clippers. Congratulations. Okay. Yeah, you got kicked off of that team. You've been kicked off of all kinds of teams. So what? The Clippers are trying to win, and they traded you. They didn't cut you. Like, give me a break. Like, the whole thing with the play-in and, I had to beat the Clippers, and I wanted this one, and give me a break, dude. It's a bunch of nonsense for not much production. Guys like you are going to be out of the league real quick. So yeah, I'm tired of the whole Patrick Beverley act. I can't stand the dude. Like, enough, man.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Get off my television. All right, number 2, and this is another guy that a lot of people will have number 1, Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to talk about a guy who can't be bothered? Whew. I mean, this guy just I don't feel like playing today.
I don't think I'm gonna show up.
Yeah. No, you know what? There's more important things in the world. You know what? I don't really, I'm not in the mood. I'm the voice for the voiceless, man. I'm not getting vaccinated. It's like, what? Like, I think he's on another plane of existence than the rest of us because he seems to talk in these ways about, and then it's all the media's fault. Well, it's the media's fault. Basketball's just a game. That's fine. You can say it's just a game, but you're getting paid $40 million a year. Show up to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not asking for, greatness here. And by the way, he is great. It's not a discussion. Like the idea that Russell Westbrook's in the top 75 and Kyrie Irving isn't is a joke. Like, give me a break. Damian Lillard over Kyrie Irving? What are you smoking? I love Damian Lillard, but Kyrie Irving's a better player. But yeah, he just I don't know what planet he's on.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
And
I kind of put him and Baker Mayfield in almost the same category where I'm just kind of like, well, you guys just fucking play. Granted, Kyrie Irving doesn't play. Baker goes out and plays even when it's advisable that he doesn't when it was with his shoulder all screwed up.
Well,
but his comments to the media are really annoying. Same thing with Kyrie.
It would be different if Baker was really, really good. That's the problem with Kyrie. Kyrie's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you can't win with him. You can't. Like Brooklyn, we can say all we want about Brooklyn. They're not going anywhere with Kyrie on the team. Because in this series, you saw it. The first game, he was awesome. The rest of the series, he was
Yeah.
It's like, dude, where are you? Like, So anyway, and number 1, drum roll, please. Obviously, it's Karl Anthony Towns. I can't stand this freaking guy. I've had it. Dude, enough. You go crazy when you make a shot. I mean, at least Kyrie Irving on the court is fine. Maybe he doesn't play well all the time, but he's not like, causing problems or just, talking a bunch of junk or acting like a lunatic. Like, he's not like Karl Anthony Towns. I don't know what planet you're from, dude. Like, it's just, he's really good, but it's like he doesn't know how to play basketball. The posting up at the 3-point line, like, where are you from? Like, what planet is that ever going to work? Like, and then I love he goes, all right, I'm taking this guy off the dribble. I'm 25 feet from the basket, but I'm taking him off the dribble. It's like, dude, what are you doing? What are you watching? Like, go down on the block and post up if you want to post up. Like, I'm not against posting up, but you can't do it this way. And then just every single call, he's jumping, slamming into guys, throwing his arms everywhere. And it's like, you can't believe they called a foul. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
like, you have the most obvious fouls I've ever seen in my life. Like, you can't keep your hands to yourself. No wonder you're getting fouls called on you.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, so he is a hindrance. Maybe, you know, and I hold out, of all these guys, I hold out some hope for him that he'll do something to change, maybe. But you know, like I said, we're 7 years in.
Yeah.
We're 7 years in. Like, you're still doing this shit? Like, this is, it's hideous. Anyway, so that's my list. Any comments on,
No, that's a good list. I'm trying to, I can't really think of anybody else that I would throw on there.
yeah, I mean, I looked up online and basically, you know, like I said, it's always the best players. It's LeBron and Kevin Durant are 1 and 2 on a bunch of lists. And it's like, guys, they're not that
There's
hateable.
things that annoy me about LeBron and Kevin Durant, but I wouldn't say, you know.
Right, but it's not like, God, I hate that. I can't stand that guy. None of what they do rises to the level of any of the five guys I named.
Yeah.
So, anyway,